it's me, Rama, and this is my AI creator system for Abatron. This is a union of C++ and UMG. I'm basically communicating directly from UMG to C++ constantly. And now I'm going to demo that. So here we have a unit in the Abatron game. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna quickly I'll make 3 units. Alright, so one of them is the current player character. By the way, in Abatron you can very easily switch between units by pressing F2. See how I'm switching? Uh, this is one of the little features I made where depending on which function key you press, like for F2 it's the thrasher, this fellow. But anyway, so you have all these different units you can click on, and this is actually Devereaux's fabulous clicking system and this outline thing. Let's see here. Okay, ready? We're gonna make a action for this highlighted thrasher. We're gonna tell this fellow to start going in a line. Now notice he instantly started going. And I can actually, this is my AI creator system. The actual visual look is kind of in a rough draft alpha state, but the functionality is entirely here. So you see with this thing that I've made, this is all UMG, but it's an instrument panel straight into C++. And one of the options is that you can draw any of the actions. So it's just my little temporary icon. So now I'm drawing this line. Now, and I added this AI component or this AI C++ code during runtime just by adding this patrol line. Now, you can control all the variables in UMG using my AI creator, and it will instantly update. So you see here line length. Let's change this to be variable between really small and pretty small. So now notice how it updates on a delay. That's this duration over here. So let's have it update every 1 second. See how it's constantly up? See, I got really short that time. Let's use 512 and 24. So you see how the AI is instantly updating. Now this is UMG straight to C++. There's no blueprint code involved here. I'm basically using a bunch of UMG widgets to send the data to C++. Now you might be wondering, well, how am I instantly updating the AI system? My AI system uses just a bunch of ustruct data, which I expose to UMG using a ustruct blueprint type. And I'm recompiling my entire AI engine code, the runtime engine code, each time I make a change to UMG. So if I change the duration now to be between 0.01 and 1 second, see how it's going to update on this kind of random interval between basically instant and 1 second. Let's just make it completely instant. See, it's like updating too fast, you can't even move. Let's do 0.1. See how it's like constantly updating, right? Because I'm going between 0.01 and 0.1 seconds. So let's do just 0.1. So now, it's like, he basically can't figure out what to do. It's too fast. Let's use 1 second. So now so I have this random, I created a data type for a random range, and I'm basically using all C++ code, a bunch of custom C++ AI data structures, and then UMG. So the result is that in a final game, in Abatron, when the game is released, you'll be able to use my AI creator to make your own AI to challenge yourself. Now, one of the goals for Abatron is actually to make it so that pro players can generate their own AI for their units. So you're used to RTS games where the AI of each unit performs a certain way. However, using this AI creator of mine, and using all this fancy C++ code and UMG interface I've created, pro players could generate their own AI that performs according to their preferences. and they could even have competitions as to who has the best fundamental AI for their units. So I'm taking RTS games to a new level of professional play where it's not just how fast is your APM and do you make good decisions. You can also have an entire part of the game that occurs before the match where you're programming and testing your own AI using tweaking just these different numbers. Now, this particular action, patrol line's pretty simple. You can add as many things to this list as you want. I can add another module for patrol circle as well. They can't really run concurrently though because they both want to tell the unit to move, and they can't really have the unit move to two places at the same time. However, you can easily turn them on and off. Like here, notice how I just turned patrol line off, but I could switch it. And now, see how this thing turned red? I have dynamic updates from C++ to UMG. So C++ is telling UMG, hey, patrol circle got turned off. I'll show more about that in a second. But here with patrol circle, I can change all the variables here too. Let's make circles really small. So you notice it's not just that you can customize the circle radius, it's that you can create random ranges of values. So here, let's say big circles, big circles and small circles, but let's have it change every 2 seconds. So the unit, this guy's having trouble because he's on a slope. I'm gonna get him somewhere where he's not on a slope. 1, 2, click, right? And now I'm gonna switch him back. So notice how the circle is frequently being recalculated and it's changing size each time in this specific random range that I've chosen. So between random range values and the ability to do all this in UMG, I'm giving the end user of the Abatron game the ability to really create their own AI. Alright, let's say 1 to 2 seconds. Alright, oh, here, a chance to switch directions. Notice how each time it restarts, he keeps switching. Maybe you don't want him to do that, so we'll just say 0. Let's just have him always go in the pressure should always go in the same direction. So now you can see, he's always going the same way now. So he actually gets, around the circle, which keeps changing size. Looks like it's changing too frequently. Let's do between 2 and 3 seconds. Notice each time I make an edit, the C++ engine is being updated. You might be worried about efficiency because this is AI. UMG is just for tweaking variables. I'm not using it to do any of the code. All the code's being done in C++ using my adaptable dynamic C++ actions engine, which can receive all these updates from UMG. But if I now click on a different unit, or if I go in game, that unit is happily doing his thing. Because keep in mind, part of Abatron is the fact that it's a hybrid between an FPS and an RTS. So I can go in first person and watch the AI unit that I programmed do his thing. Notice how he keeps, changing his circle radius, just like you saw me program. Look at him go! Now notice I'm still drawing, right? Let's fix that. So let's click on the unit. Come on, unit. I can't, I'm having trouble. That's embarrassing. I can't click on the unit. Oh, I forgot we have drag select now. That makes it easier. Alright, so patrol circle's being drawn. Let's turn that off. I don't actually want to draw it. Oh, that's patrol line. Patrol line. Let's turn them both off. I think I'm actually drawing them. Here. There we have it. Alright. Now, okay. So now look, so this is what it would look like more in game when you're not testing your AI code. You just see him doing his thing, right? Like, what's he doing? Like, it's not so obvious now that I'm not drawing the circle what exactly this unit is doing. You and I know because we just made it together. But, in game already this is reasonably complicated behavior pattern of constantly changing circle size. However, it gets way better. Here, watch this. I've actually made a scripting system out of this AI creator. So I have patrol line here. You see this activate on finish, add action reference, right click on another action in the list. I'm going to have patrol line refer to circle. This is like a variable if you were in C++, but I'm in UMG right now. So I've effectively made a scripting system for UMG. Hello there, it's me continuing where I left off. So I've essentially made a scripting system so the end user can script AI code using just UMG. So here, what I did in the last video is I had patrol line, I added a reference to patrol circle, which is over here. Now I'm going to have patrol circle make a reference to patrol line. So now line calls circle and circle calls line. But I can also rename these references. So watch this. If I change the name of patrol line, I pressed F2. I do that so often because I'm so used to pressing F2 to rename stuff. Alright, so patrol line, you see how they have these references. I'm going to just double click and rename my reference. Let's just call it circle. Let's call patrol line for video. Alright, but look at how the name's updated. So this again is my system. Let's turn the circle off for a second. I want to get to an idyllic location. Let's draw the line. Let's see. Patrol. Oh, it's still doing circle. Oh, you know why? It keeps turning it back on. See how it's turning it back on now? Because I say activate on finish. Every time the duration finishes, it's calling the other one. So the way what I really want to demo for you, I'm going to have both of them draw. What I really want to demo is how, you see this other button, this star? You can actually have an action run only once and then turn itself off. So I'm going to have both of them turn themselves off. But when one finishes, activate on finish, it's going to call the other one. Look. See how this one's 0.1 to 1 second. So it keeps switching over. Let's make it more like 1 to 2 seconds. Alright. So notice how the UMG is this thing is turning red sometimes to tell you when it's inactive. Notice that you can also see when it's drawing or not. See the line drawing? So I have dynamic updates from C++ all the way to UMG with no blueprint code really in between. It's just the blueprint code that I need to tell UMG what to do. It's really C++ straight to UMG. So I've made an engine in C++ to allow me to define AI actions, encapsulate them in a simple data structure that I can then expose the sort of key values of to UMG. And now I also have made a scripting system for dynamic references. You watched me click this reference. You know, I had activate on finish, right? And then I clicked to add this reference to the other one. That's a dynamic reference that only exists in the it was all created during runtime. This is all from the command line version of the game. The editor is closed. This is something I could package and release right now to the community. It doesn't need the editor at all. Of course, the editor is free now, but when it wasn't, or even now that it is, being able to do all this with the editor closed is really important because, you know, having an in-game editor for the AI is really useful. So, you might be thinking, well, that's all great, but what about saving it and loading it from hard disk? I'm glad you asked. You see this button, save? I'm just gonna save it to hard disk. And now I'm actually going to, well, first I'm gonna demo the fact that it works by, you know what, before I do that, I guess I'll leave the drawing on. So here, watch this. I just loaded the same module for this guy, and wasn't there another Thrasher around here somewhere? Here. I'm gonna have this guy loaded too. So now everybody's running the same AI, which of course is starting to make lots of pretty concentric circles everywhere. And they're each running it on their own schedule. It's a full copy, which means everything is instanced uniquely, which is why they're not all running the same code at exactly the same time. You know, you see there's some variance, but that's all great. But what about, like, you know, because I'm saying this is like a new evolution for RTS games. Well, if you go, let's say the pro player, you prepares your fabulous AI code and you're ready to fight this other player in an RTS game, and you want your AI code to run, you need to be able to save and load from hard disk, right? Well, let's see. Let's see if it works. Ready? So we're reloading the game from command line. Editor is closed. Let's make um, let's make 4 units. Let's do 5. 5 units total, right? We're all here now. And let's go into the editor mode. Alright. And green is save, this is load. Now see, I pressed the load button. See how the references updated too? So I have a full scripting system for my AI that saves and loads from hard disk and is exposed to UMG. Now let's load the same AI that I saved to hard disk for everybody. I don't have a file browser system yet to load different AI. It's just a UI thing I haven't developed yet. The code for it's all done. So I have serialization to hard disk of an AI system that is exposable to UMG to essentially make a fully functional AI creator. And then I can go in game and run around. Notice I took control of one of the units. So my AI system defers to unit control, of course. If you're the player, it lets you take over. So look, everybody's having a party, and you watched me script this. Notice how they keep switching from line to circle. Look at them go. So that's my system. I just wanted to review before ending the video. Now that you've seen the whole thing, now to just, start over again and look. So I'm starting with a blank slate. This unit has no AI at all. But as soon as I add a new action, we'll use patrol circle, they instantly start going. And I can draw data about each action to debug it or to make sure it's doing what I think it should be doing. I think this circle is too big. And that's not what I meant. 900. And let's do 1600. Alright. And let's do, I think I broke it. How'd I break it? Go, thing, go. I killed it. No, angle difference has to be big. Alright. So, allowed Z difference is the pathing extent. In the UE4 navigation system, there's when you're projecting down to the nav mesh from the current unit height, this Z difference thing is where I'm doing the nav mesh projection to make sure that they find surfaces even on slopes. So, anyway, that's still too big. Alright, you know what? I think it's really cute when they have a really small circle and they run in like circles constantly chasing the little yellow dot. So but the point of everything I'm demoing is this is, look at him go, it's the mouse, get the mouse, except it's a yellow dot. So this is all happening at runtime. Editor is closed. This is an AI system fully editable in UMG, but using the speed and power and math calculation prowess of C++, yet with the user friendliness of UMG. I think he doesn't switch often enough. I want him to switch constantly. Let's do every 1 to 2 seconds. And I have the ability for AI randomness with the ranges, and I have the ability to refer to other actions. So let's again add a line, just showing it to you again so you get the full picture here. What I'm able to do with this system. So the circle is going to activate line. Let's have the circle run for 6 seconds. And we're only going to have it run once. That's what the star means at the moment, due to just having not refined the visual appearances yet. So the circle calls patrol line. Let's rename patrol line. I did it again. I do that every time. Alright, drag click. That was Devereaux who made that drag click feature, which I rather like. He also made a sphere one, didn't he? How do I do sphere? Control? Alt? Shift? How do I do it? Somebody knows. I don't know. I'll have to find out. I want to know. Hey, look! I made a star! Look at that. Anyway. So let's rename this to, let's just call this video line. Alright, so patrol circle only runs once, and then it's gonna call video line, right? And again, all I had to do was right click. I can delete it and do it again. So I'm gonna start with patrol circle, add action ref, and I'm gonna just right click on this. So this is all dynamic links. This is a scripting system. This is a fully fleshed out scripting system I've created. And so now look, now he ran for 7 seconds, now he's switching over to video line. Video line doesn't call anybody else, it just runs perpetually, so that's it. That's the sequence of events now. So let's start it again. Alright, so video line starts off, circle for 5 seconds, now patrol line. Circle turned itself off because circle said when I'm done call video line, and I only run once. Right? Only run once. Call video line, and video line is now perpetual. And this is my in-game Abatron AI creator system that can save to hard disk and is completely UMG accessible for everybody to use. Now I'm going to save it, and very quickly let's make one more unit. Make another unit, and then go back into the editor. And now we just created that fancy system. Now load. Now this other guy, where is he? Oh, this guy. Come on thing. Alright, so let's switch it because I didn't really fully set up to make him do patrol circle first. Look at him go. Now he switches over. Now it's just video line. So hope you've enjoyed this demonstration of my AI creator system, and this is just a few actions. I'll be adding many more, and you can imagine where this ends up, especially with the fact that I can add action refs like this. I can refer to other actions. I did it again. I do it every time. I always click on it and then go in game. And now I can rename it. Watch this. Rename. Oh yeah, I can actually use exclamation marks. So video line, let's have video line refer to rename. See that? Oh, it's just so good. With this system, with these action refs, I can literally do anything. With these ability to basically have variables within UMG that I create, I literally have a UMG coding system. It's like UMG C++. Enjoy!